EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for May 17th, 2019. For your Friday, we're expecting clouds this morning and a few scattered showers that will be around, but this will be very light showers, not a real big deal. Once we get in the afternoon, I think we're going to start seeing some breaks in the clouds a little bit, some mostly cloudy skies, but there could be a threat for an isolated thunderstorm in spots, but not everywhere, so it will be a little bit of an improvement during the afternoon. I think most of your shower activity is this morning, maybe bleeding into very early afternoon in some locations, but for the most part, we are dry in the afternoon with just an isolated thunderstorm possibility. And this is showing the morning right here, and then once we get in the afternoon, we should be on the global models really not showing anything today. So let's get over the NAM and see what it's showing, the NAM high-res future simulated radar, and this is starting off at 9 a.m., or excuse me, not 9 a.m., this is 8 a.m., and you see some scattered activity across mainly the interior locations at this point. It's going to move its way eastward, but you can see these are very light and very scattered, maybe a little bit more concentrated across northeast PA. And this goes into right about noon. This is looking at noon right here. And then you got just isolated stuff after that point. You see these little isolated blips here? That's all you have left, and that could turn into a thunderstorm if you get a little bit of sun in the afternoon or little peaks of sun. And you can see a few blips here again. In different spots. They're very hit or miss, though. Very hit or miss. That's why we had the isolated threat this afternoon, and that's it. So today's really not too bad overall, and you might have some areas that just dodge these entirely. You don't have anything. So it's just during the course of the afternoon, you will have the threat for that thunderstorm, and then once we get into the evening, this kind of goes away, and you can see that here. So we turn to partly cloudy then overnight. We'll be warm today, though. Temperatures in the upper 70s in a lot of locations. Mid to upper 70s, I should say, because it's going to be a little cooler up north, but not too bad of a day. And then, again, partly cloudy overnight. And then we get to Saturday. Saturday is going to be a partly cloudy, partly to mostly sunny day. We're going to have a warm front that's going to be pushing northward overnight. This is going to be the start of a ridge that's going to build in here for Sunday. So Sunday is going to be very warm. Okay, and we will have the threat for a late day thunderstorm. We'll get to that in a second. But we do have a warm day here on Saturday. And we're still north of that, on the north side of that warm front. So what's coming through today is actually a cold front. So temperatures are going to lower a little bit on Saturday, but we're still kind of like 74, 75-ish for high. So a very nice afternoon, partly mostly sunny on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to have, once this warm front moves to the north of the region and moves through overnight, and you can see it, actually see it right here, and moves off to our north overnight. Once we get into Sunday, we're going to have a surge of warmth come in here, and a real surge of warmth, and we're going to get well into the 80s for highs in a lot of locations. So I'm talking about low to mid 80s for highs here on Sunday. So a very warm day here on Sunday, and then late in the day, again, you have just for the interior locations, not southeast, I don't think, just the interior locations has the opportunity for scattered late day thunderstorms. But don't let this spook you here, because if you have some outdoors plans here on Sunday, this is probably very late in the day. So most of the day is going to be partly cloudy prior and very warm, obviously. But then we have the threat for some scattered thunderstorms late in the day for the interior locations. And this will be far northwest of I-95. So kind of like I-78 north is what it's showing here on the global models here, and not further southeast of that. So areas of the southeast might just get away with just a partly cloudy day with nothing as far as thunderstorms are concerned. And then we have the trailing cold front that's going to move through here on Monday. But you're kind of playing Where's Waldo with this front here. Not a lot of forcing with it, and it's a weak front. So you have this will keep it very warm here on Monday as well. Temperatures still in the 80s on Monday, but just an very isolated chance for a thunderstorm. Whenever you have a ridge in place, and I'll show you this here in a second, because we're going to be dealing with another one of these even bigger ridge here as we head toward the holiday weekend next weekend. Whenever you have a ridge in place and you have precipitation working toward that ridge, it dries it out. Okay, whenever you have these systems heading toward you, so it looks like, oh wow, you got a big cold front right here going to hit us, and it's going to be hit us on Monday. Well, no, it really didn't. It just kind of fell apart because it's running into that ridge that's in place here, so it dries it out, and that's going to be the case here, I think, on Monday. And then we, once this cold front goes through, it will lower temperatures back into the 70s, middle 70s, okay, so still warm, mid upper 70s on both Tuesday and Wednesday. We're mostly sunny here on Tuesday, and we're partly cloudy on Wednesday. And then here we have another front that's going to be approaching Wednesday. It looks like it's going to hit us, and then all of a sudden, look, it falls apart because you have a ridge in place at that point. And as a matter of fact, heading into the latter part of the week, you're going to have an enormous ridge sitting over the southeastern United States. This is, some like to call this the death ridge. This is going to be very, very hot and dry down in the southeastern United States. Now, we're going to be in the northeast periphery of this up in here. So we're not going to be quite as hot as we're going to see down south, but we're going to have some areas that are going to be well into the 90s and near 100 degrees in some locations down here in the deep south. So we will not get into that, but I do think we're going to get back into the 80s again as we head toward the end of next week. It also remains dry, it looks like, until we get straight through the end of next week. Could be a shower here Thursday in spots, or excuse me, Wednesday night in spots, but here's Thursday, nothing going on here. And then heading into the holiday weekend, or the beginning of the holiday weekend, here's Friday, nothing. Here's Saturday, nothing. Again, one of these fronts are going to try to come through on Saturday, but if that ridge is still here, move ahead to Saturday here. Ridge is still in place here on Saturday, so I don't know that this is going to hold together either. Because these fronts that we're looking at here for, Monday and again Wednesday, a couple days ago looked a little bit more potent, and now they're starting to recognize that this ridge is going to be in place here, and they're kind of running out of steam, and that might be the case over the weekend too. So we'll get more into the holiday weekend forecast as we get into next week, because a lot of things can change between now and then. But I do think the model's been very consistent on this ridge being here. So as long as this ridge isn't too far south or it doesn't break down too quickly, we are not on that northern periphery of that. So any storms or anything like that, we'll have to go up and over the ridge, and we'll have trouble getting into this region, which will keep it dry, which would be a good thing going into the holiday weekend. I don't want to give everybody false hope just yet, because we don't know exactly where the position is going to be. If it's not as strong or a little bit further south, and we get into that what's called a ring of fire pattern, which is the northern periphery, everything kind of goes up and over the top. If it ends up being down here, guess where that's going? Right over top of us, and it could change the ball game a little bit. So I don't want to jump the gun just yet. Just enjoy this week ahead. It does look very dry overall. We're going to get a few showers today, not really amounting to much. After that, you got very isolated stuff at best the rest of the week. And we have, so far, an optimistic forecast for the weekend, but we'll get into that as we get into next week in Monday's video. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for May 17th, 2019. Have a great Friday.